Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to Our World of Darkness. I am here with Cole, who is the player of Justin Murphy in the Thicker Than Water tabletop Vampire the Masquerade game that we run. And we are celebrating 900 subscribers.
Congratulations.
900 subscribers.
That is amazing.
It's today.
Today?
Today.
Oh, I didn't know it was today.
It was today.
Congratulations again.
I was actually doing stuff on the page, and I got a little notification, and actually, I'm gonna do this real quick.
Yeah, let's see it. Bring it up. I feel like I'm in the way.
Nah, it's okay. I'm just looking for names. Omar Sanchez.
Was your 900?
There you go. There's your page, Omar.
Oh, cool.
You were number 900. Thank you very much for subscribing. That's still the thing. There we go. Thank you very much for subscribing. I'm so excited. We're only 100 away from 1,000.
That's amazing.
Where this stops being a hobby and starts becoming a job.
Hey.
Rather very low-paying job at first, but a job. Yes, monetization.
So what you're saying is I can be vulgar now, but not later?
I don't know how that works.
I don't either, to be honest with you.
I don't know how that works. Oh my god, I had when Daviga did his interview, it was like every other word was bleeped out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sounds like an editing nightmare.
I literally just put a little black square over his mouth, and I had like a little sound pop up, a little horn popped up every time he did that. He just couldn't control himself.
That happens. That happens. Well, I told you earlier. I was like, when you
get a camera or a microphone on you.
It's you know what? It's not the camera. I actually really hate being on camera and avoid it at all costs. So you're welcome. But
Thank you.
The microphone does a weird thing in my brain.
Yeah.
So there are questions.
There are questions, but before we get into that, I want everybody to understand that Cole here is my first storyteller ever. Second storyteller ever when it comes to World of Darkness stuff, because I used to play a really cruddy but fun Werewolf the Apocalypse game in high school during lunch.
Was it the White Wolf? What? Werewolf? Was it White Wolf?
Yeah, Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that you started with... I actually never knew that you started
I played Werewolf the Apocalypse for probably about 3 months in high school during lunch, but the guy, the storyteller Art Gibson, who's an awesome friend of mine.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Awesome friend of mine. He found Werewolf and he learned all the rules and everything, but he gave zero craps about the story.
I'm totally opposite to that.
He just made stuff up.
Totally opposite.
I actually ended up getting embraced
as a werewolf.
As a werewolf, so I was technically an abomination, but nobody cared.
Yeah, it was
just he's a werewolf, and
because I was about to say I've actually heard that storyline done multiple times throughout the years and years, but it being okay, that's a first.
I don't think we had tribes or anything though. It was literally a here's your werewolf, pick your powers kind of thing.
And werewolf says that do your own thing, make it your own.
Yeah,
so that's important.
But serious canon-ish World of Darkness material. You were my first storyteller, my first vampire storyteller. And I probably would not be doing this if it wasn't for you. So I'm very glad you're the last player, because I really get to have more fun.
Yeah, the last one to join the party. Yeah. That's weird, because I knew that you've been doing it for a while. Yeah. And then, side chronicles that you do with friends and family. But I was like, do I want to get back into gaming again? I kind of kicked the habit. I kind of put it away and was like,
you don't... therapy.
Yeah, that's, that's exactly it.
It's my therapy.
You get to step out of yourself and just deal with something else crazy, like a building falling over, or getting embraced, and way different than paying taxes.
And you played when Thicker Than Water first came out.
I did.
When I first came up with the idea, which was Ash Wednesday 2003.
God, you have a good memory.
Well, I remember because the very first night...
Oh, that's my Isabel.
Veggie.
She wants to celebrate too.
See that? I'm editing you out.
Are you?
Yeah.
Poor Val.
Maybe. I don't know. As long as she doesn't yak the whole time. But I remember it was Ash Wednesday because the theme of the first game night was the fact that it was Ash Wednesday in character. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason I remember. And
but the year I was like,
But back then I was very much in the whole, like, let's bring this in, and everything was hectic and crazy.
Yeah, try all the flavors, absolutely. Yeah. I still live by that motto.
Well, I'm trying now to do more low fantasy.
I've noticed that in this particular chronicle. I've noticed that if there's a dog scratching at the door, I've noticed a lot of things. I'm very observant. You want him in?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna
do that.
Yeah. So
years.
So now I'm trying to do more low world stuff. I'm trying to not get into the high fantasy, trying to do the low fantasy where everything's centered on like a group of kindred in a city, not the world is ending, let's try to fix this. Trying hard not to be the Gehenna storyteller anymore.
And there is fun in both.
Yeah.
There's fun in both because it's really nice to have those super crazy, like I said, things that you will not encounter in a human life just happen. And then it's really fun to just kind of have to think and logic your way into something more serious, and both are good.
Yeah.
And I play both.
Yeah.
But yeah, yours is more real world-ish.
Trying.
Yeah.
I think V5 actually works so much better for that than the older systems do. There's just so much more down-to-earth stuff than there was in the older systems that just tended to like go everywhere.
Well, there's new stuff too, like lore sheets.
Yeah. I love the lore sheets.
Yeah, so that brings some already set kind of places or beings that you can then interact with. Yeah. So
now, again, in the old one, you played Jacqueline Patton.
I did. I was the infamous General Patton.
General Patton.
Sheriff.
Now, Jackie, you did. You eventually did become the sheriff. It's very interesting.
Brewhouse Sheriff is not that out of the box, friend.
Not back then.
Yeah, no.
It is now.
Is it?
Yeah, because the Brewha don't belong to the Camarilla at all anymore.
That's right.
There's a few handfuls here and there, but like they don't have a Justicar or anything.
I did actually forget that tidbit because I'm not playing a Brewha now.
Yeah. But you were basically central focus in the old Vampire the Masquerade game.
I tried to be.
Well,
I tried.
Every game tends... every game that I've been in... It was about 35 people. So and it was LARP.
Right. So you had to get all dressed up. If you didn't get dressed up, you kind of weren't as invested as some of the other people. And then there was so many more people that I had to be kind of like, hey, pay attention to me because you were very busy.
Well, not only that, just because, in a LARP setting, you have the option of, I'm going to be a background character. Mm-hmm. You have that choice. Mm-hmm. In tabletop, not so much.
True.
If you want to do that in tabletop, you might as well just go, I've got a sheet, I'm going to sit here and eat popcorn while you guys play. If you need something, then I'll pop in.
I feel attacked. Wait.
You don't
Was that a dig?
No.
Was that a dig at my new character? Jackie was really centrally focused and out there. Yeah, and then, we're talking about guys just sitting around eating popcorn, which is like legit my character's thing right now is feel like y'all just do.
I wasn't trying to make a dig at you. What I'm saying is in tabletop you really can't get away with that kind of play.
Not so much, no.
Because, I think if there were any more players, my head would blow up.
I think actually you could text on. I have seen some of our players kind of text each other on the down low, and I'm like, oh, y'all have phones now.
Yeah.
We didn't have phones back in the day when you played tabletop. You'd sit in a Denny's or a Jerry's, and if you try to do anything on the down low, you're passing notes.
Yeah.
Literally passing notes. But yeah, tabletop is harder to do that for sure.
But Jackie was Miles's child.
Not that I originally thought. You put me through some emotional orphanarium kind of trauma, and then at the end of it was literally four potential daddies later. Jackie was like, I don't give an F. It doesn't matter. No one cares.
Well,
I don't care.
What I'm getting
We're
at is
Brewhouse,
the game though is thicker than water because it's supposed to be the specific bloodlines of these vampires in this city, and you were connected to Miles,
correct,
who was brood mates with Colin Griffin,
correct,
and now in game the central character seems to be Tinia.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Tinia's sire is Colin Griffin,
which I just found out in character recently, and I'm like, I have no reason to care in character, but out of character, I was like, oh, really?
Yeah,
my character's related. Well, not this one, but I'm related. So that actually made me kind of push on Tinia more. That's totally out of character motivated. I'm just like, hey, here's these horrible things that could happen to you, and she's like, oh my god.
It's just it's so interesting though that this one Brewha family does seem to be at the center of everything.
Yeah.
When I'm not Brewha focused.
No, but it's kind of like a Godfather sort of thing that just happens.
Yeah.
This is the head family, and there are a few mentionables, but these guys just survive and survive and survive. and have a lot of stakes. Even when you did like the Old West, the 1800s.
Yeah.
They had a lot of stakes in the city, so they've grown and evolved and had children and children's children. And the only other clan that really has done that, to my memory, is the Ventru.
The Ventru clan is very big on, again, the bloodlines of Thicker Than Water, because you've got the Sire, which has not been introduced yet.
Okay, so don't say anything.
Well, I mean, I'm not doing the same plot line as far as that is with the Voivode.
Well, yeah.
I had a Ventru who called himself the Voivode. He was actually based off of an old Eastern European nobleman that I was like, that's not a Tzimisce, that's a Ventru. And I brought him in, and he's the sire of, oh my god,
is it Dupal's?
No.
Further back or closer?
Oh my god. In? I'm so many people.
I know some of these bloodlines, but you have to give me like
the Ventrus. The Ventru.
Yeah, I know the Ventru bloodline too. Well, I mean,
Dupal's Bruja.
It's also,
your grandpa.
I also may have gotten confused.
Okay. Well,
that happens. There's like 3,000 NPCs.
No, he was the sire of Joseph Barrett, who's like the broodmate of Vincent Loretta, or Victor Loretta now. We changed him.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I changed him because I didn't want so many NPCs with the same names. It just gets confusing at that point. Because we had more than one Vincent.
Glad you said something. I would have been like, wait, is that someone's cousin or brother or doppelganger? What's going on?
But like, and then after that, you got like Merrick, and you got Dracon, and you got Rose, and it's just, it goes all over the damn place.
And I played Jackie in Thicker Than Water for almost 5 years.
Yep.
I took a little break, but almost 5 years. And I got to tell you, as you're saying these names, I'm just going, hate that guy, I want to kill her. And I have all these reasons. And now playing Justin, if I ever get introduced to those NPCs, I have to try to
not hate
pull
them
that
for
bias.
no reason.
Yeah, and that's hard when you play the character for a long time.
It's hard.
It is. Right.
So
it is. But Justin's totally like the opposite of Jackie.
But
like totally the opposite kind of character.
So you've had your time being tortured by me.
Yeah.
And I've had my time being tortured by you.
Not nearly as much.
I got deported under your
I didn't deport you. A player deported you.
I know, but still.
Influences kids by them.
Influences. 2 levels of bureaucracy in the old Laws of the Night book ended up having my character deported.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting into the questions that the community has wanted us to ask is go ahead and tell me about you, the player behind the fangs.
Me?
Yeah. Tell us about Cole.
Okay.
Whatever you want to share, obviously, if you want to be mysterious.
Cole is a Gemini and likes long walks on the beach in the evening. Cole likes food. That's pretty much anything that can be put into my mouth. I like food. I don't know what to say. I work with animals all day. I'm very fortunate to have a fantastic job. Can I plug my job? Is that
yeah, go for it.
I work at the Shell Factory Nature Park in Florida, and if you ever get a chance to come down, you just be like, vampires, the secret word, and I'll do the whole family discount thing for you. Up to the first 20 people. We'll do that, because otherwise I could get fired. So, I work with animals all day long. I come home on a Friday night, have a shower because I smell like a camel's butt, and then we sit down and pretend to be vampires. That's kind of my only hobby right now. I had several, but now I'm like so dedicated to my job that's...
Yeah.
It's animals and vampires. That's my life.
That was me for a while. I mean, I just worked at the same place you did, that you do now. So.
Yeah. But I enjoy it.
Good.
A lot.
So, how long have you been playing?
The word is vampire.
Yeah. No, actually, just how long have you been playing role-playing games in general?
Role-playing games? I never got into D&D. I think I've played literally 1 or 2 sessions of D&D. It just wasn't my thing. I don't know why. I play a lot of World of Warcraft, except for right now because my internet's a little spotty. But other role-playing games would really only be Vampire, and since I just turned 21...
It's so
Depends. Okay, alright, so I think I've been playing somewhere in the neighborhood of like 25 to 28 years.
Okay.
Yeah, a long time. And I still could not tell you the rules. Nope, I had.
Well, you were always very much into the story, and you allowed other people to handle the rules for you, and that's always been great. Like,
yes, I wasn't particularly good at it. I didn't memorize them all, and I wasn't as attached or in love with the rules as I needed to be able to create something.
I mean, Gwen was always my rules lawyer.
Yeah, he's got a sharp mind for that stuff. He's like, on page this and this, and I'm like, okay, well, you're hired.
Yeah, I don't.
It pays nothing.
I don't have him do that. I don't have him do that too much when it comes to V5, since we're all new at this.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the other systems, he was always my rule.
It's so handy to have somebody that's got that kind of mind.
So about the same amount of time, you think, for BTM, or?
I have been playing BTM since I was 14.
You're 14?
Uh-huh.
Jesus.
Yeah. There was so the guy's a mushroom farmer now.
Bill?
Yeah. And we actually shared an apartment, and he came home from whatever it was he was doing and invited everybody that was there, and all the other roommates and such, was like, hey, let's go play vampire downtown. And I was like, do what now? Play what? And he was like, just come. So of course, thinking at 14 that was a great idea, I was like, sure, let's go with my weird friends downtown at 14 and play vampire. And that's actually what I did for 28 years. So it's all Ville's fault.
It's all Ville's fault.
It really is.
I always considered him the antediluvian of Fort Myers.
Oddly enough,
he's the one who brought vampire, in my opinion, to Lee County.
Kind of. From Chicago. He was just like all my role-playing games and all of my weird goth stuff and dancing, and here you go. And we did have an explosion in gamers after Ville came onto the scene. That's very true.
I never really told Ville no. Whenever he'd play,
always tell Ville no.
He'd always ask to play something. He'd come up and be like, "Can I play a 4th generation Cappadocian?" And I'm like, "Sure," because all you're going to do is sit there and talk to people and make the game better
and collect books,
and you're never going to kill anybody, because you really have to poke them with a stick to get them to kill you. You had a much different experience with younger Ville, though, because younger Ville played your sire at one point.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm struggling to think of anybody that I've seen his characters kill, and
he attempted to kill you.
He was actually involved in a chipper shredder incident. If memory serves.
I do remember the
chipper shredder.
That was a
conspiracy. It wasn't just like he went out after that character. Just something happened.
That was a character that needed to be chipped.
Yes.
Anyway.
Facts.
There's a very good chance that JT might watch this.
Hi, JT. All of your characters should have gone into that chipper shredder. Because you and I both know, it's the same sheets, different name. I love to pull his leg.
Oh my god!
But yeah,
he was a fun character. Though.
Ville did try to kill my character, his chowder, at some point because he's an asshat.
Okay, so you kind of answered the next question already. Okay. Who got you involved in this? So Ville.
Yeah.
Ville.
It was all his fault.
Yeah.
Complete vampire.
So out of all the time that you've been playing, what's your favorite clan and why?
It will vary sometimes, like as new editions of books come out or new lore comes out, but and I'm probably going to get mad at myself later and be like, no, you should have said Cappadocians. Freaking love Cappadocians. I do freaking love Cappadocians.
If you want to give several examples, go for it.
I love Cappadocians. They have a nice, rich, meaty, to me, interesting history.
I love them. I love them now.
There's
the
a lot
Hecata are so freaking interesting.
See, and I have so much to catch up on, so much to read when it comes to that, because you've been telling me information, and I've been like, oh my god, mind blown. So yeah, I'm...
Serendipity is considering a Hecata.
Cool.
Like in the future, no, not now. She's got L, but later.
Yeah, she's our little folk singer person.
Little
she's a lot of
singer,
fun with her cute little hat, and she's just got that little drawl. I
love how into it she gets.
It's always going to be Malkavian.
Malkavian?
It's always going to be Malkavian, and I see so many people play them wrong, because I am that guy. I'll just be like, your concept is shites. Get out of here with that.
Well, there's so many people who just take the issues that the Malkavian have so lightheartedly.
Yeah,
and
don't do them at all. Don't play them out at all. They're like, oh, I'm going to play this character that has these derangements, and these are things that are supposed to be debilitating and interesting, and add meat and add that spice to your character. But then if you're literally just playing a character that's holding a teddy bear and you're rocking back and forth for the 3 to 4 hours of game, like, why
are you here?
Why are you here? Yeah, you're not.
Have you seen the V5 Malkavian stuff?
I have not.
You should.
I said,
we should look at that later, because, like, seriously, the Malkavians, they did them right in V5.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
There's no way to not play your derangements.
Excellent.
They do
I'm glad
really
to hear that. And not just the derangements, but, Malkavians they're a sauce. In the old system, they could do kind of anything and get away with it once a night.
Yeah.
Which some of us really took advantage of. Sorry to my former storytellers.
Yeah, that's not in the game anymore.
That's probably good.
That's not in the game anymore. I think if people realized how broken that was.
Yeah, it's
that whole he's a Malkavian, just let him get away with it. What about your least favorite clan?
I don't especially love Toreador, to be honest with you.
No?
No.
You're playing Justin pretty well. You're an anti-tribute, though. So,
yeah. See, anti-tribute is a whole different clan. Whatever you're talking about.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I like the whole concept of the V5 now, where anti-tribute, a lot of them don't even know what clan they are anymore. It's a whole sect of Caitiff, and I love it. I know the first time I ever saw you play a Toreador, I wanted to kill that character.
Yeah, everybody hates my Toreador.
Oh my god, that was...
Name one that you haven't wanted to kill.
Your characters?
Yeah, well, Toreador characters.
I can only think of really one of them that you... No, I can think of two that you played, and I didn't want to kill the first one.
Who was the first one?
Or not... I don't even remember. Ellington?
Clara Ellington.
Clara Ellington?
Yeah.
I didn't want to kill Clara. Clara was cool.
Oh, see, I didn't get to play that character very long.
Yeah.
So you would have... You just had to give me the chance. You would have...
And then, you know what? No, Catherine.
Catherine Cotterskew?
I liked Catherine.
Countess?
Yes, I liked
Did you? I thought you hated that character.
I liked the Countess. She was fun. She made
everybody else that hated her.
She made the Wild West game fun.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but Laurel Murphy was the glue.
Oh yeah, no. I completely admit that.
She was like the Tinia of the time.
Every once in a while,
staple character you have to have.
Every once in a while, you kill one player and it makes the entire game fall like dominoes. It really does.
Yeah,
and
it's a shame.
Laurel Murphy is the reason why our game now has the law of Laurel Murphy. Where
it's very cool to be immortalized in some kind of way. But her character got stomped, and it was
one of those
really
instances
sad.
where you just can't stand the player, but the character was so integral.
I literally shed tears. I was very moved by the fact that this, because I knew
it was a violent death.
I knew in and out of character, I knew that this person was barking up the right tree and was innocent and had done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But by a technicality of Kindred law, she must be put down, and it was gut-wrenching.
That was an execution that was done in a LARP game.
Yeah.
That was played out. It took probably about an hour and a half of game time.
Yeah.
To execute this character slowly to make a point.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it's one of those things. Like, I felt bad that this was happening, but the people who were orchestrating the execution were the ones that she was accusing of infernalism.
Right.
So, yeah, if anybody wants to hear the story of how Laurel Murphy was taken down and why the law of Laurel Murphy exists, let me know, and maybe we'll do like a little story time of that, because that was bad.
Now I'm just,
I know, that was...
There have been a few over the years, a few things.
Yeah. Over the years. Favorite edition.
Favorite edition. Ooh. I started on first edition. Mm-hmm. The old, big, clumsy books where nobody knew what the heck was going on. And I don't think Justin Killey was on the scene at that point.
Yeah, he was a latecomer.
Right.
I know
that. The story feels...
Glad he's back.
Yeah, hi. Welcome back. Thank you. Well, clearing up a lot of stuff, lore-wise. But yeah, first edition, it was complicated and simple. But it's like every first edition, if that's where you start, that's kind of going to be your favorite, I feel like. If you start somewhere you have a fondness or like a sentimental... I'll still play first edition. If somebody's like, first edition game, I'll be like, yeah, absolutely.
See, I started with Laws of the Night, second edition revised.
Right, and that was a
Vampire
good one too.
Masquerade, which is a Mind's Eye Theater book. But I love fifth edition.
I think you've loved them as they've come out, because...
No, I can tell you several editions I just couldn't stand.
Really? I was going to say prior to 5th edition, there was one that came out, and I think it was, what was it, just Bloodline? What was it?
There was the V20, Vampire the Masquerade 20, which I found out. I had a person yesterday tell me in comments that the By Night Studios Mind's Eye Theater and the Vampire the Masquerade 20th anniversary are not the same editions.
Really?
I thought both the By Night Studios and the tabletop were both considered 20th anniversary. I thought that. I was apparently wrong. Yeah. No, I thank them a lot for letting me know, because like I need to know these things, and I appreciate it when people. I like it when people correct me, because then I get better. I get smarter for you guys. I hate V20, and I hate the.
I didn't really play a lot of V20.
I don't like the By Night Studios LARP.
I'm still like this is a new system to me, V5. New system to me, so I'm still kind of reluctant to throw tests, and really like I try to just stick to the storyline and the back and forth.
You're picking up dice every now and then.
I
appreciate it. Starts with a rouse check at the beginning of the night.
True. So you have to roll something.
Yeah.
But yeah, first edition. Edition. I think so. Yeah.
I really, really liked. I still really love. I really would love to find somebody who runs the Masquerade first edition.
Every now and then.
The legit looks like a script book LARP book. It was second edition. It was the second edition Masquerade, which was the first edition LARP book. It was so corny, and like most of the powers only had 3 levels. Yeah, and it was so cheesy looking
and easy to memorize, friends, and easy to just go with and roll with. And for me, again, I like that.
Gotta have a bunch of index cards.
Yep,
I love that.
And we did that for a long time.
I love that. Character sheet has a picture of the Ravno on it, who's got the Count Von Count from Sesame Street on his t-shirt.
I remember that. I know somebody who still has that book.
All right, so tell us about Justin. What you want to tell. Obviously, we're in the middle of a plot line and stuff, but a lot of people know already.
What do they know?
Well, I mean, they know you're anti-tribute.
That came out a little sooner than I wanted it to be honest. I was trying to hold that for a couple more months. Yeah. So people could really make their decision on whether they liked or trusted, etc.
Yeah, but they seem to trust you more that they know you're an anti-tribute.
That's weird. Isn't that weird? They're like, dumb. Oh, you're Sabat? Well, come hang out with us.
People are dumb.
I don't want to speak ill of my fellow players, but whenever you see a Sabat character, you should probably just
kill it.
Kill it. What are you guys doing?
It's the cockroach. Kill it before it lays eggs.
I'm laying my eggs, friends. I'm laying my eggs, I'll tell you.
You and Gabriel should both be put down so fast.
Yes. There are 2 Sabat running around on your tabletop platform.
In this Anarch game.
Right, and they're just like, they're fine, they're harmless. Yeah. They're not going to Diablerize us.
We had Damien for a while, and he was technically Camarilla.
Damien was Camarilla?
Yeah.
Fail.
His sire was Deacon Royce.
You should have sent him over to the Sabat side. He would have done way better. Probably still been here.
He was trying, and then he pulled out his abyssal mysticism and got a bar stool through the chest and got his head punched off by Tinia.
That's just a bad night.
Yeah, it was a bad night. It was a bad night.
That's a shame. Got his head punched off by Tinia.
Well, half of it.
Got half his head.
Fist of Cain to the face.
Ooh.
And staked at the exact same time.
Oh, friends.
It was bad.
Yeah. That was the week before I came in, I think.
No, you were there.
Was I there?
Yeah.
Was I on the couch not playing?
No, you were there.
How do I not remember?
I don't know how you don't know this. I don't know. Then they also know that you're from Golconda, Illinois.
They do?
They do.
Okay. How do they know that?
Because it's come up several times. We just had a session a couple of weeks ago in Golconda, but you didn't. You weren't there for.
Yeah, I was not in or out of character. I didn't come to that game session, and the very next day, you were like, everybody ran around Golconda. I was like, I'm really glad I wasn't there last night because my character has a sordid and torrid past in Golconda.
It's with its 608 residents.
That's the problem.
So
when you only
small.
have 600 people in a
tiny.
town and you become the vampire of the town, people tend to know who you are and they will tell anybody anything about you. And maybe there's just some stuff that Justin doesn't want his, new friends accepting of him as they are.
Yeah.
To find out just yet, because isn't it bad enough that they're like, oh, you're a Sabat? Like, do they really need to know everything else?
And you and Jonathan Harker have a bit of a past.
And he hasn't opened his mouth either, so I appreciate the heck out of that. Yep. Like, that's right, Jonathan Harker, because there are 2 Sabat hanging out, again, in this tabletop platform. You better just keep your mouth.
The first thing Harker did when he called them up, because he was the one in Golconda who called for help, was, is Justin there? No? Good.
Yeah, because he's going to convince you guys not to come at all. Like, do not go to the poop hole. And I apologize to the 600 and change people from Golconda. My intention is not to offend you. My character hates the little tiny town he grew up in. Like, that's fair. May or may not have done some horrific things pre-embrace in that town that, tell you about the character. He's your typical spoiled brat who ended up in a well-to-do family with some Toreador speckled throughout. Like, it's kind of either we're going to embrace this family member or wait till they get a certain age and then, maybe. But he's got this whole speckled history. And he takes advantage of being a rich, spoiled little brat as often as possible.
I'm buried with dogs today.
I see that. Like, every 15, 20 minutes there's just another.
Yeah. We've got a few more that can come in. I really don't want any more.
Fill the whole box with puppies. What a great episode! I get all the puppies.
What the hell?
It's great.
Nordy. Oh my god, Nordy. Okay, so how do you feel about your character's story so far?
I think I've been playing it calm long enough. I'm probably ready to start causing some issues problems. Now. Yeah.
I'm excited about tomorrow. Not really sure what I'm doing yet, but
I'm still a little nervous about. I gotta tell you, off record, I feel like Tinia doesn't trust me. I just get this feeling that she's just waiting for me to do absolute, like, jaywalk, like anything, and then she's gonna be like, "See, get him out of here, out." And I've been nothing but supportive and thoughtful and helpful, and like I've earned some influences to get these people to their destinations safely. And did anybody go, "Good job, Justin. Thanks for not Diablerizing us while we were unconscious because you're a Sabat person and could." Why are you guys trusting him? Like, is Tinia the only one paying attention? Is that what's happening here?
Oh my god.
I do. I get the feeling she just.
I'm gonna have to hand you one of these. Take this one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hi, this one.
That's Roman. Everybody knows Roman.
I do. I get the feeling that Tinia's just not going to put up with too much Justin antics. But I really want to pull some Justin antics. Like, I don't know what you have planned tomorrow, but I have some stuff.
Do what you want to do.
Oh, I will.
My job is not to try to... I'm not a goalie. I am here to either help or get out of the way.
You were when you were holding this little soccer ball. Are you taking a nap? He's just mindful asleep.
What else have you played?
I think everything.
Everything?
I have not actually played a mummy character. I played a mummy-inspired character, which was my Setite.
Okay.
I don't even know if I can still say her name.
Like, physically say it?
I don't know if I remember the whole name.
Oh,
Naya was the character. I played Naya. I have not played every type of werewolf.
Okay.
That's about it. I think I played everything else. I've gone through the Sorry, just beat you up. I've gone through the whole changeling regiment, the whole vampire regiment, and then like some weird offshoots. Like I've done a little Bali, blah blah. But yeah, probably just missed a couple werewolf and a couple of yeah. We did demon too at some point.
Yeah.
It was a tabletop, but we were like, let's just use celerity. For
well, I mean, they never really came out with LARP rules for demon.
I thought they had.
No, they talked about them. They hinted at it. Like, if you look at, like, the Time of Judgment books, if you open up the...
Days of Judgment?
Yeah. If you open up, the covers, they've got, like, you can see the symbols for all the different games on the inside, and Demon's there, but it's not in the book.
Yeah, well...
It's really sad.
I mean, it is what it is. It's better maybe just having them as some lore or something you can play with instead of being players.
So I'm not sure how well you can answer this one, because I know you kind of like walk down your own road when it comes to storytelling and stuff. I do.
Whatever I want.
If you could meet and spend time with any canon character, who would it be?
Oh, jeez. That's something I should have studied for sure. Any canon character?
Yeah.
Oh, God. There are probably Vikos.
Vikos?
Yeah. I would love to spend an evening.
As a Meatsy fan here, I won't go within a mile of that thing.
I'm assuming it's going to be like a Hannibal Lecter situation.
Oh, behind glass?
Not glass, like behind all the, like maybe just a phone call. Phone call would be safe-ish.
Okay, Vikos. I did not expect Vikos.
If I could sit down and just be like, tell me everything about your motivation, about what keeps you going. Like, I feel like that would be fantastic
Death to
story.
Gortrix. That's the motivation.
I would still love to hear like everything
Gortrix.
that it's seen and done and been and the people it's met. Either that or who's the archaeologist?
Beckett.
Beckett, thank you. I always want to say Barrett, and that's not right. Beckett would be my second choice.
Beckett's fun.
What's the weirdest thing that's ever chased you? You know, that kind of stuff. Be a nice little...
Everything.
It'd be like you meet Beckett for lunch and chatter, and then Vikos for dinner, and
have a nice after lunch phone call with Vikos.
Yeah,
from across the state.
From across the country.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, that's fun. I really don't.
Just no. Nope.
No.
Nope. Well, there's an implied safety. Like,
it's not about safety. I really can't stand that character.
Okay.
Like, even I played Marcus for the longest damn time. You were my storyteller through that adventure.
For most of it.
Before
Marcus became its own story.
His own entity.
Yeah.
But Marcus met Vikos at one point, and I was just like, oh no. Even Marcus couldn't stand that thing. I thought they were going to be best friends.
You would think.
I really thought that was it, and then I realized what it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm not in the same league as that monster.
That's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
But there's something that you can appreciate, like out of character. There's something you can appreciate about something that's so dark and so twisted and old enough to have gone through and its own, like, the story about the ripping the piece off. You know what I'm talking about?
Everybody loves that story.
I do love that, and I don't care
everybody
if it's corny.
loves
I love
that story.
Because who hasn't had that day at work where you're just like, frick this, and you just wish you had the detachable piece where you could just slap one guy or throw it across the table and watch it. But
I think the main story on that is they didn't even use vicissitude. They ripped it off, and it's like
that shows you're committed.
That's dedication.
Yeah, if you use vicissitude, it's almost like, so what? You do that on Mondays. Who cares?
Yeah.
But, like, you rip that off and you have the ability to craft it off. Like, that's a statement. That's a big statement.
I think I could have hung out with Micah Vikos. But Sasha, I could hang out
to both of them at the same time. Like, there's some Hannibal Lecter kind of...
I was actually very happy with...
like, this brain and then that brain.
In the Gehenna story, which has been effectively retconned at this point.
You never know what's going on.
Peter Zune met up with Vikos in Thorns. Like, they met up together in Thorns. And when Vikos came out of the shadows, it was Micah. He had changed himself back to his original form and was terrified of using vicissitude. Was just outright never doing this again. And then it was hinted at that Peter Zune and Vikos were going to team up and create some type of coalition against the Camarilla and against the Sabbat and create this whole third faction.
Okay.
I cannot remember what it was called. It was like the Neftiri or something like that. I do not remember what it was called. But it was this... it wasn't, let's kill off the Antediluvians like idiots. It wasn't, let's deny that they exist. It was, let's find as much information that we possibly can and go at this educated and logical.
Oh, I like that.
And I could hang out with that Tzimisce.
Fair enough.
But the idea of the one that's just like, thin bloods are having babies? How could I do that? Get as many pregnant women as possible. I'm going to put them in me.
And you're telling me that this person could not hang out with Marcus. And I'm just going to push back very gently and say floorboards. That's all. And you know exactly... Hold on, my soccer balls.
We're here to talk about you.
Yeah, we're here to talk about me. Okay.
So,
Marcus.
What's the meanest thing that I've done to you so far in this game?
Talking about my character, right? Okay. Because that's a whole other YouTube show.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't done anything too terrible, except that all of a sudden we had to go to Golconda. All of a sudden we had to go to Illinois. What? I signed up to be in a whole different state. Nice. And then my storyteller is like, ha ha ha, joke's on you, brand new guy. We're going right back where you came from, where your character does the last place I want to be. And then as I'm already like, frick, we're in the state. I don't want to be in the state. I'm trying to keep my head low. You know, thank God I don't have to grocery shop or whatever. But and I'm doing this, you're like, let's go directly to the 600-person town where you're sure to be recognized. Like, no, you haven't done anything. I don't know. I can't think of a single thing. Nothing.
First off, I apologize.
No, you don't. Don't lie.
No.
Don't lie. People watch your show. They're going to know you're a liar.
No, I do apologize for the Chicago thing. I just really want to run the modules that World of Darkness is providing.
And my character just happens to be from there and desperately trying to escape.
The Chicago by Night...
It's a coinky ding
the Chicago by Night story, The Sacrifice, is a beautiful story that needs to be run, and I think you guys are going to do great with it when we get around to it. I just need the other characters. I know you're good, but I need the other characters
matter of opinion
to have stake in this city.
Okay, so you want them to love Golconda?
No.
Because I was going to say
No. The Golconda thing has nothing to do with this. I literally did that because I wanted to rip off an episode of Supernatural. Season 5, episode 11. Check it out. It's about the Antichrist.
Oh my gosh, is that what you're...
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Now I'm really sad I missed it, actually.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, they had decided that it was some, like, pre-awakened mage baby. And basically, like...
yeah, of course.
Like, not a baby. He was like 10, maybe like 8.
That's a baby.
So. He was young. But yeah, they had decided that he was actually warping reality with his beliefs.
I would have started screaming changeling, like, right away.
But that was thought of.
Yeah.
Like, people said changeling.
It's the changelings!
That they did say changelings.
It's the Ravno!
The first time stuff started happening and they realized that it was happening, they went blah, 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 changeling, because they had an encounter with Faye already once.
Oh, that's absolutely valid.
So they, yeah, completely valid. And then they started going, what about mages? Like, what if this is some kind of, like, can warp reality with his thoughts kind of thing? And the way they fixed it was amazing. Just the kid himself said, things don't happen just because I believe in them. Therefore, his belief structure turned into that.
Yeah.
And
kind of like when you have Bard's tongue and you can't tell a lie, so you're like, my toys are alive, and then you have like a puppet master situation. Yeah. Well, that sounds horrific, and I'm very torn on having missed that episode.
Yeah, because you didn't want to be in Golconda, but the events were amazing.
The likelihood that my character would have just wigged out, and triggers would have had, it would have been bad.
When Daviga and Serendipity get back from their business vacations, I know I missed them.
Friends are gone.
When they get back, we're probably just going to hop right into the sacrifice. I think the game's ready for that.
Cool.
I'm excited to run through it.
Cool.
So that's the meanest thing, is the fact that I sent the game when you were not here to a city you didn't want to go to.
To this character, or just...
Yes, well, both. This character first. It's the meanest thing that I've done. Out you as Sabat. Throw Pete from a moving cheese.
That, you know what? Now that you mention it, you made me bite my boss. And this is like such a career-motivated individual. This character just wants... No. Because I still don't know if he's mad at my character. Like, I have no idea. I have no contact with this guy for like weeks. And I'm just sitting there going, maybe he just didn't realize. Because he was unconscious. Maybe he just didn't realize it was me, and like nobody told on me. Like, that's absolutely possible.
We're using the players, the non-canon player's guide to the Sabbat ruling, and since we've got a Toreador anti-tribute here, they've got to go through their compulsions. They got to go through their compulsions.
I was gonna start doing the Jeopardy.
And the compulsion for this one here was that they had to, when they get so angry, they have to attack the weakest one there. And Pete, being a tied up, weakened, unconscious Hecata, was the target of that one.
Pete's also my landlord. No, Scott's my landlord. Never mind.
Landlord.
Okay. Because I was sitting there going, I'm in like so much crap for biting my boss. And I was like, I think he's your landlord too. Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
You got Scott Duncern. You got Scott Duncern as your landlord.
I certainly hope that those two are not close. Because
Scott may be his sire. I'm not sure. I gotta double check.
Jesus, Lord in heaven.
Scott was just embraced.
Yeah, that's probably the meanest thing that you've done to me, is you had me turn and attack my employer.
Oh, that was your character. That's on your sheet. I didn't do that.
You made me do it!
Mechanics did that.
Frick!
Anything else other than
Mean
this
stuff?
character? Yeah.
Did I mention?
You have the most experience here about me doing mean things to your characters.
Yeah, but if we're focusing
else.
on Justin, which we should, because
Okay.
I have 5 years worth of Jackie complaints just stored up, and this could go on for days.
Okay.
Now I have to work tomorrow.
Okay.
So yeah, but just focusing on Justin, I don't know if there was one more. I don't know if I mentioned it, but do you remember that time when you were like, "Hey, you were supposed to play in this state, and I moved you to another state," and then.
You already complained about that.
Yeah, but it was really, really crappy.
Okay.
Really crappy.
I just need to do the Chicago by Night stuff.
I just wanted to do my plot line by taking your character and throwing it exactly where he ran away from 600 people in that city. And that's the only place on earth.
You're going to go back to Portland
Let's
soon.
just go there.
You're going to go back to Portland soon. I need to get back to Portland. I know those NPCs. Those are my, those are my babies. I made them all.
If I survive the rest of Chicago, because I do feel like it's very trepidatious. It's hit or miss. Like, I walk into every Friday night with you going, not because of you, but I walk into this party going, is tonight going to be the night that they're like, you know what, that guy's Sabat, let's freaking off him. What were we thinking? Because that's really what they should. Why are you guys not? I don't understand. It's never a good idea.
Okay, last question.
They'll learn.
Last question, and I know you've got less material here to talk about than most of the other players because you're like the newest player to the game. But so far, what's your favorite plot line that we've run?
I've heard about a couple of different things from the players and what their takes were. I don't know, because they've only been in this.
Well, I mean,
kind of like
what
I've done. So
well,
far.
I don't know. You got involved pretty much
right at the end.
Right at the beginning.
And then
You got involved right at the beginning of when the third dog who's coming to visit.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Come here.
Come on, come get in the frame. Look. There's a nose.
You see a nose? You got involved in the beginning right as I was about to bring in Kane's choir.
Right.
The
other pack.
Yeah, the other pack. With Noah and stuff like that. And that's a callback from the very first bit of game that we started. Before we even started doing recaps and stuff like that, the original coterie of this game was Daviga's character, Serendipity's character, and a character that I was playing, which was Noah, that La Sombra.
Oh, okay.
And we used to do what we were calling round robin storytelling.
Yeah,
where,
I've heard of that.
I would start the plot line, I would run night, and then Serendipity would run the next night, going with what I did, kind of like a yes and thing. And then Daviga would take over, and he would do that, and then it would come back to me, and I would have to come up with a conclusion.
Fantastic, Murphy. Fantastic.
And I would have to come up with a conclusion to that storyline.
Nice.
And then Serendipity would make up the next storyline, and then it would go to Daviga, and then to me, and then back to Serendipity. It was really fun. It guaranteed that every plot line was about 4 sessions long, and that everybody had a chance to throw their own 2 cents in, make the story go in a different way. It was a lot of fun, but it all centered around this one coterie.
Okay.
And Noah was abandoned. And it was
no.
And I want to point straight out that it was not their fault. He was kidnapped, and then they were attacked and ran. So
it seems like it's their fault now because he's not.
He really sees it as their fault because eventually they did find out where he was. Like a year later, found out where he was. They went to go get him, and then didn't. And then just forgot about him after that. Now he takes it personally.
Yeah.
So
understandably so.
But the whole time he was. By the whole time he was just, his willpower is getting beaten down and beaten down and beaten down to the point where they finally got him on a path of enlightenment, and now he's the priest of this insane pack that's obsessed with music.
So that makes another Sabat that kind of just randomly pops in and out of the storyline, and I'm just I don't know why. And I used to tell people that when as a storyteller, somebody would come in ultimately and be like, because we normally ran Camarilla, somebody would come in and go, I want to play Sabat. And I go, sure, keep your mouth shut because they're going to kill you. And then after like 2-3 weeks, they'd be like, I'm Sabat. And everybody knew they were Sabat. And I'm like, how are you guys not killing this Sabat? Now there's Noah as an NPC who already has a reason to hate these guys. And 2-player characters.
Noah came in with the whole, I'm going to kill those 2 characters.
Yeah, I caught on to that pretty quick.
He's like, I'm gonna kill these 2, and then he realized that destroying them meant more than that.
At the time, Serendipity was playing a different character. She was playing Dawn.
Yes.
And he wanted to kill Dawn.
He wanted to kill Dawn.
Yeah.
And he also wanted to kill Daviga's. Oh my god, that character. I keep wanting to call him by his original name, but the original name hasn't been released yet.
Okay.
And I'm having such a hard time remembering his character's actual name. But oh my god.
So he had a hit list though, and it was mainly those 2.
He just wanted to make those 2 suffer, and then he realized that I'm going to break them more than killing them could ever allow. And I only think
long-term goals.
Yeah, and I really don't think that, like, Tinny is terrified to actually fight against them.
She should be.
That pack is dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Lasombra, a Hecata, and a Banu Hakim.
You had me at Lasombra.
No.
Yeah, you had me at Lasombra. Like, on even with Jackie, a 5-year character, and Tinia being a Bruja of that line. Mm-hmm. Like, even with that 5-year character, Tinia, I would not have gone one-on-one with a Lasombra. I would have absolutely not, like, avoided that at all costs. So Tinia, my advice to you is just, like, if you're gonna like wise up a little bit and be like, the Sabat do have to die, like, maybe just leave Noah out of it, because he's gonna wipe the floor.
I don't know. Part of me is just like, is Noah really Sabat, or is Noah just enjoying the fact that he can get away with the stuff that he likes doing in the Sabat?
See, and you could ask my character the same question. You could be like, are you really Sabat, or are you just, like, kind of a spoiled little jerk?
Does the dogma matter?
To me?
Yeah.
To my character?
Yeah. Does the dogma matter to Justin?
Well, knowing his pre-embrace that we've talked about, like, I don't really think that he would buy into any of that crap.
No? You don't think that
I think
he believes that Kane's coming back, and...
I really honestly think that Justin sees himself as God of his own world, and that if Kane did come back, he'd just be like, whatever, where you been, bitch? I've been running this.
We did a game... We did a game earlier on where we explored the embraces of the 3 characters from the original Coterie. And the one sire that they could find out of the 3 was Noah's. And he was in the Camarilla Elysium. And he was standing, he was outside on a balcony with a bunch of other kindred. They were all just enjoying the fact that they were lording over creation.
That's what we'll do.
Noah got right up to him, and the guy's like, blah, blah, blah. We got to, we're joining the Camarilla. The Lasombra are switching over. And they had so much back and forth with the Camarilla already up to this point that Noah just, like, pulled a stake out, slammed it in his chest, and threw him off of the balcony, and he got hit by a bus. Like, just bam!
Totally understandable.
At which point the Camarilla were like, the heck do we do? Somebody actually just did this in Elysium, and he just, like, guns out, just back off, and, like, left.
Yeah,
like,
Lasombra, just come at me.
At that point, like, that was insane. I really wish we had been recording our sessions back then, because, like, oh my god, the destruction of Noah's sire was just... And I think that with Noah, he would see, like, oh, Cain? It's just another sire.
Basically.
Like, why am I trusting this one?
You're a really old guy that's just going to push me around and tell me what to do. Like,
yeah, let's take out Noah's probably like, let's take out the Antediluvians and let's turn around and take out Cain.
Honestly, like, Justin could get on board with that.
Pretty sure.
That's kinda his mentality as well.
Pretty sure that if any Sabat actually got into his head, that'd be the end of Noah. Right then and there.
Yeah, same in this general. But,
unfortunately.
I don't... Can I ask how long Noah's been embraced? Like, how old is the vampire?
Jeez.
Because Justin's like 3 to 4 years embraced and could turn around
about 3 years.
Like, I'm just a kid.
About 3 years.
Huh. So, yeah.
3 years, and he killed his sire the day after he was embraced.
I I wish my character had the balls to kill his sire. It's just...
Well, no, okay. Have you seen Birds of Prey?
I have not.
Oh my god, you gotta see it. Birds of Prey featured Ewan McGregor as Roman. You got Roman. Roman Sionis Black Mask.
Okay.
From Batman villain. And
I'm not...
I know you know who that is, but he...
mansplaining me?
I'm not trying to mansplain. Anyway,
did you know who Batman is, little girl?
No,
yeah, I do.
No. A lot of people don't. I know you know who Roman Sionis is, but I know a lot of people don't know that Roman Sionis is a Batman.
Yeah, that's
villain.
probably true.
That's a pretty obscure villain.
I think the people that listen to your channel might.
Yeah, maybe.
Nerds unite.
But
Heck yeah.
But I based Noah completely off of that character, but specifically the way he's played in that movie.
Okay.
Where he is just I want this, and I'm going to get it, or I'm going to throw a temper tantrum. Now, you give that character Dominate and Obtenebration and Potence.
Yeah. So you have basically the same kind of mentality in Justin, but you've got a little bit of celerity, and I took Daunt because I'm like, he wouldn't be that likable, but he could totally bow up and be like, and Daunt worked, so.
Well, I mean, even the smallest cat, if you get him backed in a corner, if they hiss it, you're going to go, don't scratch me.
True story, like.
Yeah.
We have a cat at work. She's about 30 pounds, and if she hisses, I'm like, just do your thing. I'll just.
So that is all of the questions.
Okay, I did it. Did I pass?
Yeah. See, there wasn't any math or anything. So, is there anything else you want to put out there? Because I'm sure we've got some Justin fans out there. Like, it's surprising.
No.
It is really surprising how many people are specifically tuning in to find out what a specific vampire is doing.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure. No doubt about that. No doubt. And speaking of specific vampire, I guess I'll just wrap this up by being like, where's Dawn? Where's Dawn? I have a character with goals. Serendipity. Goals. And all of a sudden, my goals shelved themselves. So, like, what's up with that? But yeah, I'm good. She knows. She knows. I'm just like, the minute you unshell that character. Oh, it's a long story.
Dawn, I love the fact that Dawn. I love the fact that Dawn and Damien were the ones that had like the biggest spearheading fan base.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That were just like, what are they doing? Where are they going? What happened to them? Like, oh my god! And of course, Damien is dead.
No, yeah, he's no longer
very dead
with us. Rest in pieces.
And then Dawn shelved because of the whole Noah situation.
Yeah.
Happens. I like Elle. Elle's a fun character.
I'm not saying I don't like Elle. I thoroughly enjoy Elle.
I
just wasn't done with Dawn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you might not have to be done with Dawn because I don't know if Elle's coming back to Portland.
I was gonna say something bad might have to happen to Elle to try to coax the Dawn back.
Don't kill for out of character reasons.
I can find in character reasons. First of all, my character tends to hate females, so that's reason number one.
Yeah, that's true.
Just being a psychotic little... Playing the character is my reason to kill absolutely any other character. Sabots. We've been over that, yeah. No, I won't. Like, I have no reason, really, to kill Ellen. I enjoy her.
I don't know. She keeps playing the way she's been playing. Tinny is going to have reason to kill Elle.
Tinny's not going to kill anybody. She's a little Jackie. She's just all warm butterflies and hugs and kisses under there. And you have to tell her. You have to, like, literally look at Tinny and go, you are going to have to order people to die if you're in charge. And she's like, no.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how this is going to go.
Not well.
When they get back to Portland and Tinny is now barren.
I mean, I wish her the best of luck.
I really thought that, like, they were going to end up being, like, old school Dark Age barons. Like, the whole game was going to be split up to everybody gets a section of the city.
Yeah.
And that the main leader of the city was going to end up being Ivan Vassell. I really saw them going, let's give the city to the ancient Tzimisce on the mountain.
I kind of assumed that was the direction they would go to.
Yeah, and we'll be his lieutenants.
Right.
Like, I really saw that happening, and it just didn't.
And I don't know, like, that's kind of, I still feel maybe a better direction to go. But we'll
with characters that we have in game, but I still think people can mature. I just hope they mature enough in time. No.
Like if you're counting on this character.
Oh no, I don't. Your character's not going to have any type of leadership position. It's just
again, just because Tinny's a little, apprehensive. Like, I mean, again, I'm very.
You think Justin's going to be a Baron?
I think that Justin is going to weasel his way into some kind of like where he can either chirp on the Baron's ear. Like there's got to be some kind of snake in the grass. But no, I don't see him becoming a Baron because putting a target on himself is not his idea of a good time. Like the popcorn in the background kind of.
Well, where the story's going now, like in the direction that it's headed now, the Camarilla has agreed to allow Portland to be controlled by those anarchs.
Right.
But they're going to set up.
I still feel like they're going to nuke it. It's a setup.
Well, the Camarilla is going to set up an Elysium. That's their territory.
Of course.
But they're not going to get involved in city politics. So they say.
Yeah, I'm already side-eyeing.
Yeah.
The Camarilla is not going to get involved? Okay, that's kind of their exact MO. That's exactly what they do.
Well, I mean, I've foreshadowed that Lucindy, the Justicar, or the Ventru Justicar for life, as she now is attempting something. This is an experiment. So we'll see how that goes.
I love that we're her experiment.
Right?
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Great. Let's see how far this rabbit hole goes, man. I'm excited for tomorrow.
So this is Cole, the player of Justin Murphy, and I am Voivode Maquette. I almost said Azagrendel. I've been playing so much Minecraft lately.
Right?
Anyway.
So many channels, so many hobbies.
I am Voivode Maquette. This is Nord.
Oh.
And this is Roman right here. Since we've got dogs, apparently every interview we're going to get more and more dogs. But thank you for joining us in our world of darkness with this milestone where we've reached 900 subscribers.
That is so amazing.
It's only been 3 weeks. It's only been like 3 weeks since we hit 800.
I'm impressed. I have to tell you, I am impressed.
I can't floored.
Wait to see what you're going to do for your 1,000.
I don't know. If anybody has any suggestions of what they'd like me to do for my 1,000 special, I'm all out of players.
Yeah, that was
that's all of you guys. So we could do some kind of live interview with me if you guys want. We could do something else. Me and my friend Silent Comedy 97, who's a member of our community, very active member of this community actually, on our Discord, we're discussing possibly running a very limited for players game on Discord, just for like 5 sessions of a really messed up plot line that we've been talking about.
That sounds like fun.
But yeah. But it would be very, very closed, and we're talking about like maybe half a dozen people.
Oh yeah.
So, and 900 of you are here now watching this. So
beg, borrow, and steal, I guess.
Beg, borrow, and steal.
Do like some kind of raffle.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. I really don't. But we did mention it, and seriously, this was something that just came up today.
Yeah, because you hit 900 today.
Hit 900 today, but the idea of running this game came up today.
Okay, gotcha.
So, so many different bugs to work out on this, but yeah, we'll see what we got. 100 people. Let's see how fast we can get there.
So subscribe.
Subscribe
if you're watching
if you're not.
And you haven't subscribed.
I never actually say that.
1,000.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, you have to.
I never say it. I never
Shamelessly
share,
promote.
Subscribe. Check
Kill
out
your friends. Terrorize your parents.
Find our Facebook and our Discord will be in the description below. Like, click on them, check it out. It's a really fun community. Everybody's just really nice. Like, I'm really surprised we have 900 people and nobody sucks. Thank you for not sucking.
That's an accomplishment.
It is.
That is an accomplishment. People on Discord and everybody's just playing nice.
I've never seen a group of 5 people that doesn't have at least one person that sucks.
I'll tell you, I really don't do the Discord thing because of that. Because there was like everyone I've been in, there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of and I'm not interested. But like, yeah, that's great that yours is running smoothly and people are doing their character thing, and that's awesome.
So anyway, I am Voivode Maquette. This is Cole. Last time I'm saying it. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.